Dance don't lie. This perfume smells like Dove. If you love Dove, the Dove soap, this is the closest thing to Dove you can find on the market. This perfume gets me a lot of compliments whenever I use it. I think this is the cleanest smelling fragrance you can find on the market. Oh my god, I just pulled the lid and I have no words to describe this beauty. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Giselle, I review perfumes. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy my content. And if you're one of my loyal returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for being here with me once again. So today is all about clean, chic, soapy, fresh fragrances. And I think there's a lot to these fragrances. Usually freshies or this type of clean scents tend to be considered like a second tier type of scents because they are not beast modes, they don't turn heads or stuff like that. But as I always say, I think that there's a time and a place for everything, and not all fragrances have to be head turners, panty droppers, stuff like that. I will never say that. I can with those videos, but anyway, you know, you get my point. And personally, as much as I love strong, long-lasting fragrances, I also love my skin scents. The ones I have here today are not necessarily skin scents, but they are on the fresh, soapy, clean category. So if that's your vibe, let's dive in. The first fragrance I have on my list today is Blanche by Byredo. As you can see, it's a fragrance I wear a lot. Dance don't lie. It's a fragrance I truly wear a lot all year round. It's a very clean, very crispy. It's so good. I think this is the cleanest smelling fragrance you can find on the market. In fact, Blanche means white in French, and Byredo's founder wanted to capture the essence and his interpretation of the color white in this fragrance. So he tried to make something very representative of the color, and he nailed it. He definitely nailed it, because this is exactly how the color white would smell. If you can imagine, if you can picture a very crisp white poplin shirt fresh out of the dry cleaners, this is exactly how this fragrance smells. Ultra white, almost neon white. It is slightly astringent. This is a typical Byredo DNA. You find this DNA in most of his fragrances, or many of his fragrances. It's so beautiful. It's very minimalist, just as most Byredo fragrances. Very minimalist, very soapy. It's very clean, crisp, sheer, and as the founder says, it's pure and simple in structure, but extreme in character. And this is exactly how Blanche is. It is a very pure fragrance. However, it's not that innocent. It's not your typical freshie. This is a very clean, like I said, almost astringent, laundry-like type of fragrance. However, it has a very strong presence. It can be a nighttime scent. I tend to wear this during the day. However, when I wear this during the night, I overspray a little bit. Wow. Wow. It gets me tons and tons of compliments, and everybody says the same thing. Oh, it smells so clean. It smells like a poplin shirt, as I just said, and also like very fluffy white towels. It's so good. It has aldehydes in the top notes. However, after a few minutes, the aldehydes are completely gone. But it's not the type of aldehydes you probably have in mind. There's nothing vintage here, nothing old school or anything like that. In fact, this is a very contemporary, very modern type of scent. It's very beautiful. It's slightly spicy. It has pink pepper in the opening. It also has white rose. It has neroli. It has peony. So beautiful. It has violet as well, but there's nothing powdery here. This is a very clean but non-powdery type of scent. It's also musky, and it has sandalwood and cashmere, which give this fragrance a little bit of coziness and roundness. The sandalwood here, I think this is Australian sandalwood because it's drier than the Mysore counterpart, which is the gold standard when it comes to sandalwood. It tends to be creamier and sweeter than the Australian sandalwood. Here we have a dry sandalwood, but I think this is exactly what this fragrance needs, because I don't feel that a creamy sweet sandalwood would match this DNA. So I absolutely love Blanche. Great fragrance, completely unisex. I think it leans more on the feminine side, but it is totally unisex. As I said before, it's a little bit astringent, but I think that this astringent aspect is what accentuates the laundry quality this fragrance has and makes it so attractive. At least if you like this type of scents, clean, soapy, very chic, very minimalist, I would say this is even a blind buy. I'm not encouraging you to blind buy, but if you're gonna blind buy no matter what, I think this is pretty safe as long as you enjoy these type of scents. Blanche is a type of fragrance that I will never layer with anything. I think I would be doing a disservice to this beautiful and pure DNA. However, if you are into layering fragrances and if you love layering no matter what, the only thing I would layer this with is either Ambroxan or ISO is Super. Nothing else. Like Molecular 1 by Eccentric Molecules or Eccentric 02 also by Eccentric Molecules. I think the Ambroxan and the ISO is Super there are really nice. But other than those two, I would never layer this fragrance with anything. But of course, it's up to you. You make your own rules. Do whatever brings joy to your life. And if you enjoy this category, I think Blanche is a must try. The next clean, fresh, invigorating fragrance we have on my list today is Torino 21 by Xerjoff. Torino 21 belongs to the JTC or Join the Club line, and as such, the notes are vaulted. All fragrances in this line have their notes vaulted, they're kept secret, so I have to guess what this fragrance has. But whatever, it doesn't matter to me. As long as it smells good, I don't have to know exactly what notes this fragrance has. And Torino 21 is gorgeous. It's my favorite flanker. I think there are 22, 23, and 24 if I'm not mistaken. But this one is my favorite. It's so good. It's super clean. It's fresh, very invigorating. It's not soapy. It's not powdery. But it's very clean, very fresh, and green. However, it's so good. Let me rewind a little bit. I think it's so beautiful and so invigorating. There are a few notes that I think I can pick here. The notes here have been blended very harmoniously, so I would be lying to you if I tell you I can pick this, I can pick that, I can pick that with 100% certainty. However, there are a few notes that I think I can distinguish pretty well. I think this fragrance has basil, and there's a citrus here which I'm not quite sure about, but it could be yuzu, lime, or lemon. I think it could be more yuzu or yuzu and lime, because yuzu is a very subtle citrus and it is slightly sweet, less tangy, less tart, and not so zesty. However, you have this citrusy component there and you have that lemony, typical lemony aroma that yuzu has. So I'm pretty sure it has either yuzu or lime, which I find more fragrant than lemon. Could be lemon too, I'm not quite sure, but there is a citrus here for sure. Could be bergamot, but usually bergamot to me smells more zesty and even more citrusy. So I'm guessing basil and yuzu, lemon, or lime. And also mint. It smells slightly minty, however, it's not camphoraceous. You don't have that cooling effect, so it's more about the essence of mint, the scent, the mint scent, rather than about the qualities that mint has, like being camphoraceous and very cooling and everything. I don't think this fragrance leans that far. However, I pick some mint here, and probably jasmine, a very clean jasmine, nothing indolic, nothing like that, a very clean, watery jasmine. Absolutely beautiful fragrance. It's very chic. It's unisex, completely unisex. I think it leans a little bit more masculine, but let me tell you, when I smell this on women, and in fact the first time I smelled this fragrance was on a woman, and it smelled absolutely incredible. Torino 21 is like a splash of energy. And you pick the lime, the basil, and the mint right in the opening. I'm sure those notes are there, or yuzu, but probably lime. I think it's a very elevated, green, fresh, citrusy fragrance. It smells very luxurious, but this is not loud luxury. This is actually more like quiet luxury, But yeah, it smells very expensive, very elevated, luxurious, sophisticated. It's a great fragrance for warm weather. It's very fresh, very invigorating. So good. And the nice thing is that you can share it with your significant other. So if you like to share your fragrances, this is perfect. So the profile is nothing that I've never smelled before, but I don't care. I'm not looking for groundbreaking fragrances. I think at this point, and given the fact that fragrances are living their golden age, like a celebrity moment, at this point, I think that expecting a groundbreaking fragrance, it's not even realistic. I think the market is oversaturated. As much as I love fragrances, and there's never enough for me, I have to say, I think the market is a little bit overcrowded. And yeah, I doubt we will get something truly groundbreaking. We might keep getting gorgeous fragrances, but groundbreaking, I think it's not the moment. So I don't expect anything groundbreaking, as I was saying. It's nothing I've never smelled before. However, it's really beautiful. It smells very chic, very expensive, very elevated, as I said before. And if you enjoy this type of scents, very fresh, chic, unisex, Torino 21 is a must try. My favorite Torino of all Flanders. Next fragrance on my list today is Le Papier by Diptyque. All fragrances from this house are elegance in a bottle. You may like them or not, but one thing that's undeniable is the fact that all their fragrances are super duper chic and elegant. This is one of my favorites. It's so nice. It's so good, guys. I absolutely love it. Love Le Papier. It's super clean again. That's why it made it to this list. It's very sheer. It's also musky. It's very feminine, very ethereal, very translucent. And it also has a nutty note that during the colder months, I think it's stronger and more noticeable. While during the summer, it's a little bit muskier, but you can still smell the nutty aspect of it. I don't know if this is sesame. Honestly, I didn't research the notes. Sometimes I do it on purpose. I don't want to be biased. When I smell a fragrance, that's actually one of the ways I train my nose to pick notes, right? Trying to be completely unbiased, don't read anything about the notes, and try to pick whatever your nose tells you. So I am picking some nuttiness here that reminds me a lot of basmati rice. I love rice as a note. I've always loved rice, way before it was even a thing, and way before it became hyped as a note. I love it. I think it's very cozy, it's very enticing, it's very addictive. And here I can't tell for sure, but to me it smells either like sesame or basmati rice. There is like a rice accord, basmati rice accord, or sesame accord. The nuttiness is absolutely beautiful, and I think makes this fragrance more feminine. It's perfect for very hot and humid weather. It's also musky, slightly creamy. There's probably sandalwood here. Mysore sandalwood probably, because it's creamy. Really beautiful fragrance. Also unisex, although I think it leans more feminine. Pretty long lasting. I get around 5-6 hours on my skin. I tend to overspray this perfume just because I love it. I don't care much about longevity. Of course, I appreciate if fragrance lasts a long time, but I'm okay with 3 hours or 4 hours max, because I like to switch up fragrances throughout the day, depending on my mood, depending on where I go, depending on my clothes. So longevity to me, it's not a deal breaker as long as the fragrance smells amazing. To me, the deal breaker is the scent, period. And I absolutely love Le Papier. And as I said, I tend to overspray this fragrance, and I get around 5 or 6 hours on my skin. I don't spray on clothes. So this perfume is absolutely beautiful, perfect for this time of year, day or nighttime scent, and I highly recommend it because it's mass appealing, very inoffensive, perfect for the office, perfect for a wedding, perfect for everything. It's 100% versatile, and this is one of the reasons why I love it so much. Le Papier by Diptyque. So the next one on my list is 724 by MFK. I don't know why this fragrance doesn't get the hype it deserves. Actually, I think I heard more negative comments rather than positive. And I can't understand why, because it's a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. This perfume smells like Dove. If you love Dove, the Dove soap, this is the closest thing to Dove you can find on the market. In fact, I've been getting those requests like back to back. on Instagram. I can't even tell you how many people reach out to me and ask me if I know a fragrance or if I could recommend a fragrance that smells like Dove. And before this fragrance became available, I used to recommend Bubble Bath by Maison Margiela from the replica line, and that one is pretty close to Dove. However, after this one was launched, this is the number one, and Bubble Bath became the second contender. But this one smells even closer, even more similar to Dove than Bubble Bath. So beautiful, so chic. This fragrance to me is so damn rich. So whenever I don't know what to wear and I need to wear something, because I can't leave my house. I don't know how you guys are. Let me know in the comments. I'm curious, because personally I can't leave my house without jewelry and without fragrance. To me, those two accessories are non-negotiables. And this one is so damn rich. Whenever I am in a hurry and I don't have time to choose a fragrance, I always reach for this one, because I know it will always deliver. It makes me feel chic and put together with just a few drops. It's very creamy, very clean. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's a light fragrance. It's creamy, but it's airy and light at the same time. So it has some depth to it, but at the same time, it's very airy. It's very translucent, very sheer. It's very feminine. I absolutely love this perfume. It's pretty long lasting considering its category. Usually we don't tend to think that this type of scents would last, but let me tell you, it is pretty long lasting. I think I get around 6 hours or something like that without overspraying, and considering its category, I think it's a really good performer. And again, it smells so good. I mean, the dry down is where you will start picking that Dove DNA. You know, we all have different perceptions. Maybe you smell it and it doesn't smell like Dove at all for you. All people who bought it after my recommendation because they wanted to buy something super clean that smelled like Dove. So all these people who bought this fragrance are extremely happy, and I know that because they got back to me and they told me, they shared with me their experience, and they were all very happy. So, and other people who bought Bubble Bath, some of them told me they find the similarities. Other people told me they didn't, but still they were very happy because they love the fragrance. With this one in particular, they all told me, you were right, it does smell like Dove. So whether you like Dove or not, this is a great fragrance. As I said, very clean, perfect for this time of year. It's a fragrance that will make you feel chic and put together with just a few drops. Pretty long lasting considering its category. It's very elegant too. Slightly citrusy. It has mandarin, it has bergamot, but it also has jasmine, a very clean jasmine, like jasmine tea. And what I like about this fragrance is that it has a very airy, soapy, citrusy scent without being zesty or even tart. I absolutely love it. It's very inoffensive, mass appealing, very elevated. To me, it's just gorgeous. I love it. Now, if I had to describe how this fragrance smells, let me tell you something. If you can picture a person wearing a pair of white jeans with a light blue linen shirt, like a light blue button-down shirt, the combo light blue and white would smell like this fragrance. If you can picture that, this is exactly how, to me, this fragrance smells. So I hope that helped you have an idea of how the fragrance smells. So if you enjoy this category, this one is a must try. So moving on, the next fragrance on my list is Lime Basil and Mandarin by Jo Malone. You know what? I don't know why I keep on buying this small bottle, because this fragrance has been one of my signature scents for a few years, and it still is one of my signature scents. I think it's more practical, right? Because it's small and I can put it in my purse. I can travel easily with this fragrance, but this is like my third or fourth bottle and I need a big one. I need to buy the big one because I absolutely love this fragrance. It's very fresh, slightly tart, also extremely clean, also slightly minty as well. And just like I said with Torino 21, the mint here, I don't even know if this fragrance has mint, honestly, but it is slightly minty to me. However, it's about the scent and not the properties. Exactly what I said about Torino 21, I'm gonna say about this. In fact, I would put these two under the same category, the same umbrella. It's not camphoraceous, so it's about the scent and not the properties, as I was saying. They are not necessarily similar scent-wise, but they have a very similar scent profile. So it's zesty, minty, as I was saying. However, it doesn't give me mojito vibes. Not at all, completely different. It's a very elegant perfume. In fact, this fragrance, guys, convinced me that freshies can be very elegant and very chic. People usually think that freshies are something simple, something for every day, something that no one cares for. I have a different mindset when it comes to citrusy fragrances. I think they can definitely be very elevated and very chic. It all depends on the context, your clothes, how you carry yourself. So there's not an absolute truth about what is elegant or not. But to me, freshies, especially this type of scent profile like Torino, this one can definitely be very chic and very elegant. And you can totally rock this fragrance in a party during spring or summer. You don't really need a super gourmand or ambery, woody type of scent. These fragrances can also do an excellent job, I promise. So what we have here, it's a very fragrant basil, slightly bitter, but very fragrant, very fresh, very green. Usually when it comes to citrus notes in perfumery, we see bergamot and lemon, especially Amalfi lemon, but lime is not that common. And here the lime, guys, is very, very strong. But when I say strong, I say it in a good way, right? It's not like a punch in your face or anything like that. I think lime is very juicy and it's very fragrant. Probably more zesty than lemon, but less tart in my opinion. And I think it makes a great combo with the basil note. Let me tell you that this is a freshie, but with a very, very strong presence. You can definitely wear it during the night. I wear it all year round. During the winter, it's crispier, while in the warmer months, especially during the night, I noticed that the basil becomes more prominent, deeper, and also stronger. This perfume gets me a lot of compliments whenever I use it. Great fragrance for spring and summer. As I said, I wear it all year round. I really, really love this fragrance. Maybe in the next video, I'll have the beer bottle. I really love it. And yeah, if you enjoy this type of scent profiles, lime, basil, and mandarin is a must try. So the next one is a very hype fragrance, and it is another one from Byredo, Val d'Afrique. So this bottle is really, really old. I bought this perfume like 12 years ago, 10, 12 years ago. And when I first bought it, I loved it. I couldn't stop wearing it until I went to almost half the bottle. Yeah, half the bottle. After that, for whatever reason, I stopped reaching for it and I didn't care much. And now I rekindled the relationship with it and I started wearing it again. But it's a really particular special fragrance and I can't understand the hype. It's not my favorite from Byredo, but I still like it. I still like it, especially now that we rekindled the relationship. But it's beautiful, it's fresh, it's clean. Like I said, I understand the hype, although I think Byredo has way more beautiful fragrances than Val d'Afrique. But today is about Val d'Afrique. I think it fits perfectly here in this category because it's very clean, very fresh. I don't think it's soapy at all. I don't find it soapy, but yeah, it is a very, very clean, chic type of scent, an all year round fragrance. You can wear this all year round. Particularly, I love it more during the summer. In the summer, it pulls fruitier, while during the winter, it's a little bit drier and crispy. But regardless, I think it's 100% an all year round type of fragrance. It has great longevity. People love it. It's slightly floral, slightly fruity, fresh, clean, as I was saying. It's very, very chic. It's a very chic fragrance. The founder, Ben Gorham, was inspired by his dad. He used to travel to Africa pretty often. And it seems he used to read his dad's diaries. So he decided to capture in this fragrance his interpretation of his dad's diaries. So yeah, this is the story behind. And as I said, I've never been blown away by this scent, except for when I just bought it. But for whatever reason, I stopped wearing it and then I didn't like it that much. But I like it enough to keep it. Otherwise, I would have gotten rid of it. However, I decided to keep it and now I like it. Now I started to like it. And it's in perfect condition. It's not spoiled. I store my fragrances in dark, cool places. I don't have, as you can see, I don't have, the open shelves, which I get it. It looks beautiful, but it's like kryptonite to fragrances unless you have blackout curtains, which I don't have. So I keep my fragrances in dark, cool, dry places. And this way I managed to keep this old bottle in perfect conditions. It's really, really old. Look at the label. But yeah, I think it's worth the hype. It's definitely worth the hype. It's a very unique fragrance. It has a very particular scent profile. And if you're looking for something different but chic, clean, with a really good longevity, I think Val d'Afrique is a must try. And the last one for today, guys, is Lost in Paradise by 𝑥_ＮIHILO. As you probably know, I absolutely love this house, and Lost in Paradise is one of my favorites, together with Explicit, Midnight Special, and Sweet Morphine. Today is about Lost in Paradise. Oh my god, I just pulled the lid and I have no words to describe this beauty. It's so good. It's so sheer, so translucent. It's almost angelic. I absolutely love Lost in Paradise. It makes me feel chic and put together every time I wear it. It's very demure, very sophisticated. However, it has a very strong presence. And what I mean by that is that people notice this perfume. I'm not going to say it's a head turner per se. It doesn't have the power that typical head turners have, like ambery oriental fragrances, which are very deep, resinous, balsamic. It's not that scent profile at all. However, considering its category, which is, in today's video, because it's a clean, fresh scent, it has a very strong presence and people notice this fragrance. I would say it has an average projection. Sillage is magnificent. It's very sheer, but it lingers in the air and stays put. It's like a cloud you leave behind you. More than a trail, it's like a cloud. It's really stunning. It's very dewy, very watery. And as you can see, I say watery or dewy and I don't say aquatic, because when you say aquatic, usually people associate aquatic notes with marine, ozonic, salty, or cologne-ish type of notes, and it's nothing like that. That's why I prefer to describe it as dewy and watery rather than aquatic. But yeah, this is what this fragrance is. It has lychee. Lychee adds a lot of femininity and also that dewy, watery component. It's really beautiful. It also has peonies. So good. It's musky. It's a very musky scent. You will get more of the musk in the dry down, together with a little bit of cedar. Cedar is the most elegant note when it comes to woody notes, and I think it's what anchors the composition and gives that elegant touch. It's absolutely beautiful, very feminine. It's femininity in a bottle. It smells very luxurious, very expensive, and very elevated. It's a very safe fragrance, absolutely beautiful. It's one of the most different floral scents you can find. It's a very safe type of floral, so if you're on the fence, meaning that you like florals but not all florals, you're very picky with your florals, I think this one is a must try. It's very safe, nothing obnoxious here. You can wear this to work, you can wear this to a wedding. It's very versatile. Date night, night out, whatever you want to call it, you name it, but it's a very safe fragrance. So beautiful. It's also very fruity. The lychee here, it's very strong, which I love. I love lychee, which is having a moment in perfumery. But in this fragrance in particular, the lychee note is really well done. This is lychee well done. Stunning perfume. I highly encourage you to try Lost in Paradise by 𝑥_ＮIHILO. Guys, this wraps up today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you like this type of clean, chic, soapy fragrances, let me know in the comments and I'll be more than happy to do a part 2. I know many people enjoy this type of scents. So as I said, I will be more than happy to do a part 2. Thank you so much for subscribing. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you won't miss my upcoming videos. Please stay safe and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you.